A very good evening. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and right here we have Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. And without further ado, let's get straight into the news this 27th day of April 2024. In our first story, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has commended the retiring Uganda People's Defence Forces generals for believing in the vision of the national resistance movement and serving their country diligently. The president made these remarks during a farewell function for the retiring army generals held at State House in Entebbe.
That means when we organize war. Then you had those like Sebwao, who joined in 1983. And therefore, the stability you see, which Lieutenant General Kidingi is talking about, that now people are retiring in peace, they are not dying, they are not being killed by, there is no internal cannibalism, where the army was eating itself. So, you have this opportunity to go there and become a local example. Now, one of the things we have been teaching our people has been the confusion which our political leaders do not explain.
President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has reminded communities of Acholi sub-region to engage in productive activities since billions of monies are now lying idle at parishes. The president was officiating the welcome and thank you party for newly appointed Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Dr. Lilian Aber, in Kitgum District. This detailed story shall be shared later on.
They elected me as a woman member of parliament, which enabled Your Excellency to spot me at this right point.
Rather than building new ones, we can have the same ones, expand them, and take more each intake.
Ladit lo watika wachiwani me aka get to the centers mukere district kachel ene bitiu kachel ki wan lumember me ot mogo chief weki med budget chidong me aka kwanyo lutino piero wachel ki ken ki district achel wek no ki kwanyo lutino mapol chi wek no konyi erone kurom dano mati yaria wa makaro duju buru magenti mero lok me kwano tiu teaching.
So, finally, before I came today in the morning, I was reading an ISO report about this area.
Report security.
And in the report, they told me that my people, which is what Henry Okelodium repeated, have not fulfilled the pledge of the vehicle to the citrus grower. I directed them to fulfill that pledge of the citrus grower.
Uganda Bureau of Statistics has dispatched the first consignment of iPad tablets to 9 districts of northern Uganda to be used in the National Population and Housing Census slated for the 10th of May 2024. While launching and flagging off the materials, State Minister for Planning, Amos Lugolobi, said that almost 80% has been achieved as far as preparation for this exercise is concerned.
The Census warehouse for storing materials and data processing center in Tinda was a hive of activity as iPad tablets were being packed for delivery to different parts of the country in preparation for the census exercise slated for 10th May 2024.
To the stage of provisioning where the application, census application that has the questionnaire, the enumerator's manual, census map for each enumeration area is undertaken. You have noted that each tablet has one map of a given enumeration area.
The first consignment that was flagged off by Minister of State for Planning, Amos Lugolobi, contained 3,410 tablets to be delivered to 6 districts of northern Uganda. The districts are Gulu District, Gulu City, Apach, Aleptong, Amolata and Otuke. The iPads are to be handed over to chief administrative officers in districts and city clerks who have to directly be responsible for their safety. Remuneration manuals have already been delivered to the districts.
Now at distribution, every enumerator will provide a national identification card, their card and a NIN. We shall capture it. And these tablets, as the minister told you, are trackable. We have the device. So even if you tell us lies that they have stolen them, whoever will be having it will be caught. Assault, we shall first incapacitate them and recover them. These are government property. Whoever is found misusing this property or stealing it will pay for it.
On recruitment of enumerators, WOBOS cites a challenge of malpractice from local governments where people who did not do interviews are the ones being recruited. Government reminds the public that this is not a survey but a national census where they need to participate and provide information that will aid in planning for the country, hence provide necessary services.
The respondents, the people of Uganda, that this is their information that they submit to the enumerators is going to be kept in secret. It's confidential information. It's not going to be released to anyone, including the tax authorities in the country. The data is aggregated, and that's how we present it.
Tablets for about 71 districts out of 146 have been provisioned and ready for delivery. These districts include those in Chigezi, Ruchiga, Kabale, Rubanda, Chisoro and Rukunjiri. Mnafka Farida and Andrew Sebira in Kampala.
Now, earlier on, we brought you a story where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni commended the retiring Uganda People's Defense Forces generals for believing in the vision of the national resistance movement and serving their country diligently. We have a detailed report on that story.
President Museveni informed the retiring senior army officers that the NRM has not let them down since it has built their capacity and empowered them.
And therefore, the stability you see, which Lieutenant General Kidingi is talking about, that now people are retiring in peace, they are not dying, they are not being killed by, there is no internal cannibalism, where the army was eating itself. So you have this opportunity to go there and become a local example. Now, one of the things we have been teaching our people has been the confusion which our political leaders do not explain.
As the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, General Museveni also reiterated why he has always postponed the retirement of the army officers. The Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Jacob Oboth, thanked the retiring generals for their great sacrifice and contribution to Uganda.
Go with your heads high up, well knowing that those who wish well Uganda and those you have left behind will remain indebted to your selfless great works in making Uganda a better place to live in for the current and future generations. Personally, and on my behalf, and that of the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, I'm short of better words to say thank you for a job well done.
The Deputy Chief of Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Sam Okiding, said it was a great achievement to see the senior officers retiring as professionals due to the capacity they got from the Army.
You saw them through, but one important thing I want to note is that you did not allow them to simply grow. Your Excellency, you developed them. The beginning was very humble. For the generals, not only them, those who are retiring, and some of us who are still in active service. But as we have had the citation, they are now retiring as professionals. This is a very great achievement.
As the event climaxed, the retiring generals and officers, Fred Tolit, Eugene Sebugwawo, Emmanuel Rashande, Jessica Munwanire, made the symbolic march from the steps of the State House to a farewell guard at the exit.
Lango Cultural Institution is currently seeking 2.8 billion shillings to fund the installation and coronation of the newly elected Paramount Chief, Dr. Engineer Michael Moses Odongo Okune. Dennis Hamson Obua, the chairperson, Coronation Committee, also Government Chief Whip, urged political leaders to champion resource mobilization. Now, this coronation of Lango Paramount Chief is scheduled for November 2nd this year. More details in this report.
Million a day. The Lango parliamentary group binuketi gudulim in the market million a day we are chairing.
The organizing committee overseeing the installation and coronation of the newly elected Paramount Chief of Lango on Friday tabled a budget of 2.8 billion to support the coronation. Government Chief Whip Dennis Samson Obua, who is chairing the coronation committee, called for support from Lango community and other well-wishers, including President Yoweri Museveni, government officials, corporations, among others.
We will be in a position to ensure that all the clans in Lango make contribution towards supporting this cause. We will also appeal to the political class, the religious class, including the cultural class, to also support this cause. We will also appeal to our sons and daughters who live outside Lango to support this cause.
Lango Parliamentary Group Chairperson Judith Aliek urged for unity ahead of the coronation.
Now that the new Paramount Chief has been elected, the two factions have already come together. They are now united, only awaiting the day for the coronation. So it has brought peace, some peace within the shortest time. Lango is now united. Lango is now becoming focused to only have one Paramount Chief.
This will be the first coronation of the Lango leader since the restoration of cultural leadership in Uganda.
I'm going to mobilize the young people of Lango so that we attend this ceremony and we set precedent for our people.
Dr. Engineer Moses Michael Odongo Okune was elected Paramount Chief on March 1st, 2024 by 1,600 delegates from over 130 clans. Engineer Moses Michael Odongo Okune, the Wonyache-elect, will succeed Mzee Yosa Modure Bey, who is due to retire in November after leading for over 20 years. Edi Olwa, UBC News.
The Commissioner of Mental Health from Ministry of Health, Hafsa Lukwata, has advocated for more sensitization and awareness about the dangers of alcohol. Lukwata says that more sensitization initiatives might reduce the increasing numbers of mental health patients in the facilities. She said this as she was officiating the launch of a book titled Higher Powers, Alcohol and After, in Uganda's capital city. Now, this launch was held at Makerere University, as this story shares with us.
The book, Higher Powers, Alcohol and After in Uganda's capital city, gives context to multiple persons suffering with alcohol addiction.
We take up this question as it relates to the diagnosis and treatment of alcohol use disorders in Uganda, taking a deep dive into our recently published book, Higher Powers, Alcohol and After in Uganda's capital city, to discuss therapeutic quests in Uganda that fall outside of biomedical frameworks.
Recent reports from the World Health Organization estimate that Uganda currently consumes 12.2 liters of alcohol per person annually. This, according to the book author, needed urgent interventions to reduce consumption.
Surveys deploying standardized diagnostic scales indicate an alcohol use disorder prevalence of 7.1% and alcohol dependence of 2.5%. This is approximately 3.2 million people and 1.2 million people respectively. So if you can imagine, almost the entire population of the city of Kampala over the course of the whole country.
Research participants relate to each of us in different ways, and this changes what people tell us and how we think about it. When we exchange field notes written about the observation we have made while standing by side, we often find that we have noticed different things and come to different conclusions about them.
Stakeholders call for more sensitization and awareness about the dangers of alcohol.
We are the leading consumers of alcohol on the continent. This has implications, and one of our biggest trouble is its availability. Alcohol is everywhere, anywhere, you can take it anytime. There are different volumes, it is so cheap.
Ms. Hafswa also noted how Ministry of Health is developing guidelines for proper handling of the surging numbers of mental patients in rehabilitation centers.
There are so many rehabilitations, and each one of them is doing whatever they want. They are using whichever, models they have. Everyone does their own thing. So we are saying, no way. Let us try to regulate and have a proper way of handling our patients in Uganda. So at least we started that process and we produced our first draft.
The study was conducted within Kampala over a period of 4 years, and over 300 people were consulted. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
And in more news, Professor Patrick Ogwang has been celebrated for his groundbreaking contributions to medicine. Professor Patrick Ogwang was honored with a Third Africa Outstanding Professionals Award from the Business Executive Media Group in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Details in this report.
The award, conferred by the Business Executive Media Group, acknowledged Ogwang's outstanding contributions to the field of medicine.
We are being awarded as the African Outstanding Professionals, in which they award people from different countries for excelling in what they are doing professionally. They look at different categories. And they also have like real estate, they have different categories of award, but in natural medicines, we're the best in Africa. So Genabos Limited was identified, I don't know who nominated us, but in entire Africa, we identified under the section of alternative medicines, and then I was invited to receive that award. So I am so happy that as a Ugandan, I was among the few Africans that are invited to receive that award.
Ogwang was praised for his remarkable journey from a modest village in eastern Uganda to becoming a leading figure in global medical innovation. His revolutionary herbal remedy for malaria, blending traditional African knowledge with modern techniques, has saved countless lives.
I'm calling on government to invest in herbal medicines. 2, universities are the sources of research. Government should put a vote of money for students at master's level, at undergraduate, to do research and promote herbal medicines at the university level. That's very important. That way we are going to discover more molecules, more cures for more diseases, and then when you discover a molecule, for example, Professor discovered the Covidex, it doesn't only become a medicine, it's also a job a source of employment for many. People are supplying cosmetics and they get money. People who work in the factory, don't they get money? So government investing in this is not like a liability, it's rather a resource.
Professor Ogwang was hailed for empowering communities, especially women and youth, offering education and employment opportunities in healthcare. Professor Ogwang's journey exemplifies African excellency, inspiring generations and reshaping the continent's medical landscape. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, as the world observes World Immunization Week, Rotary Club of Bugolobi has reaffirmed its commitment to community health by continuing its monthly child immunization camp. This initiative, conducted in partnership with Chiswa Health Center 4, has been instrumental in ensuring that the children in Nakawa Division receive crucial vaccination.
August 2023, Rotary Club of Bugolobi has immunized approximately 2,400 children, averaging 300 children per month against various diseases.
As a club, we have had this initiative for some years. It was interfered with during the COVID lockdown, so we did not do that, but we resumed soon after we reopened. This initiative is part of our normal Rotary outreach work. We deal with the communities that are around where the club is, and part of the Rotary service areas includes maternal and child health. So it's important that we actively participate in saving lives by conducting these monthly immunization exercises.
Children have received deworming treatment and vitamin A supplements as part of the comprehensive health intervention.
Our critical area that we would need the communities to participate in effectively is mobilization. Because sometimes when we do conduct these exercises, we find that we end up with fewer numbers than we should get. But otherwise, once we have the community actively engaged in mobilization, then we would reach the necessary target numbers and the children that we need. And we also do immunize anyway, not just children, but also mature people who have not even understood the need for immunization.
The partnership between the Rotary Club of Bugolobi and Chiswa Health Center 4 ensures essential health services, including immunization, medical camps and checkups, are easily accessible to the community.
These diseases, there are many diseases that are killing our children and which can be prevented. The government has given us a chance of preventing these diseases. Many children have been dying with pneumonia, dying of measles, but since there are these vaccines that can prevent those diseases, I appeal to the community to bring their children for immunizations.
The immunization camps have bridged the gap for children who might otherwise miss out on crucial immunization milestones due to various factors.
Many mothers, many parents find it hard to go to what you would consider to be a nearby health center like Chiswa Health Center, but they still find difficulty, time, transport to go there and take that child, so that you find child passing their critical immunization days without actually getting immunized.
As the world commemorates World Immunization Week, the Rotary Fraternity aligns its efforts with global organizations to prevent millions of deaths worldwide from vaccine-preventable diseases. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200K to stock my shop. the signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hustle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're Sotinge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Welcome to the IFRIS Fact Checker, proudly brought to you by the Uganda Revenue Authority. Is the IFRIS a tax? IFRIS is not a tax. It stands for the Electronic Fiscal Receipting and Invoicing Solution, which is a platform designed to monitor the value-added tax VAT reported to the Uganda Revenue Authority by traders. By using IFRIS, you can eliminate the tedious process of managing records and enjoying the benefits of an efficient and streamlined system. Is IFRIS compulsory in Uganda? Only VAT-registered taxpayers who must issue e-invoices are required to use IFRIS for all transactions, whether exempt or taxable. Does the Uganda Revenue Authority expect me to use IFRIS when I'm not VAT registered? You can enroll for IFRIS voluntarily even if you are not VAT registered. This allows you to enjoy the benefits it offers to businesses. Have taxpayers been supported to use IFRIS? The Uganda Revenue Authority has a taxpayer education and support program that is comprehensive in its scope. The program aims to promote awareness among taxpayers about various strategic initiatives that the URA has implemented. How is the Commission agent, also known as the Omoyiribi, affected and assisted under IFRIS? If a common agent or Omoyiribi is registered for taxes, they are required to keep stock of the goods they sell and issue an electronic invoice. However, if a commission agent is not registered for VAT, they can sell the items as usual and provide a regular receipt. It is important to ensure that the receipt includes all necessary information, such as the business name, date, contact information, tax identification number, description of items, and the amount sold, among other details. What happens when the network or internet is down while using IFRIS? You can issue e-invoices using IFRIS app or desktop software, even in offline mode. However, you must connect to the internet within a week to upload the generated information to the system. What platforms are in place to enable you use IFRIS? The Uganda Revenue Authority has provided alternative channels and technology options that traders may choose from to use IFRIS. These include the IFRIS app on mobile smartphones, the desktop application, the URA web portal, the electronic fiscal device, and the system-to-system connection.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
So dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
We've hit refresh with Castle Lights. A premium new look. With the shiny silver label. An innovative cold indicator. A premium green neck label for a crisp and easy drinking beer. Fresh new look. Experience the fresh Newcastle Light.
Welcome back, and it's now time for the sports news. The French International School of Kampala, in conjunction with renowned gymnastics coach Leah Ampire, has organized the 3rd International Schools Gymnastics Meeting, and these details are shared in this story.
Uganda's drive to spread the sport across the country has been boosted by the 3rd edition of the International Schools Gymnastics Meet.
Our major goal and intention is to promote the sport of gymnastics in this country. So we look forward to hosting more and more, and we look forward to growing and getting even better.
It attracted 5 schools, including Seven Hills International School in Uganda, Acorns, the North Green School, Heritage International School, and hosts French International School of Kampala. Participants partook of the disciplines of tumbling with emphasis on women's artistic gymnastics level 1 to 4, men's artistic gymnastics, parkour, and beam.
This is the 3rd time we're doing this competition. It's been marvelous, it's been amazing. Really happy for what has happened. I know also the parents and everyone is happy about it. So we're just glad that such an event has happened.
It was organized on the theme of Wild About Gymnastics and a message to participants of hard days are the best because that's when champions are made.
And that brings us to the end of the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. Up next is the weekly business roundup as they unveil their new face, Jerome Paul Sonko. Enjoy.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Mukono Martha Aterwer of Seta Mukono announces the disappearance of her mother, Akon Majak Magardit, a South Sudanese national who currently lived in Bajusel, Nyenje Ward. She got lost on Thursday, 25th April 2024 at around 8 p.m. She's a bit mentally ill and she does not know English except Dinka, and she is expected to be in the areas of Seta Mukono. Whoever sees her or has any information to find her, please contact 0787 377 222 or 0758 496 640. A big